What's up, everyone? It's your boy Norman Radd 89 here, bringing you another review today for a movie I recently caught that's called Spree. This film came out in 2020. It's currently streaming on Hulu, and this is very much a horror comedy film, and it stars Joe Keery. You might recognize him from Stranger Things as Steve, the awesome babysitter that we all know and love for the children. So let's get into this video. We're going to get into the positives, my negatives, the rating, and then I'm going to send you all home. Roll it. So Spree is a 2020 comedy horror film where Joe Keery plays a teen named, well, he's not a teen, he's a man named Kurt Kunkel, who is, a rideshare person. He drives a Spree, and what he's trying to do is become a very popular influencer. He's trying to gain a following, and he wants to gain a following quick and really hit and make, a mark in life and stuff like that. So it just turns a dark path as he chooses one night to really go on, a definitely different kind of spree. And it ensues as he's live streaming all of this. It's a wild, wild film for sure. So let's get into the positives right away. And key positive is that Joe Keery just knocks this main role out of the park. He's so engaging. He's so intriguing. Like, we love seeing him in Stranger Things, and that's pretty much all, like, everybody knows him from that, and that's the only, kind of stuff we've seen him in. And to see him in a role like this, oh man, and the way that he created Kurt Kunkel in his mind. I even heard that he did a lot of background research before he was in this film, looking at like different YouTube videos and researching and stuff like that. So he really kind of sunk into this role, and you can tell he created a character in his mind, and he's just, like I said, engaging every time on screen. Another positive right off the bat is the editing. I love the editing of this film, and I would classify this as found footage because all the cameras they use are like, dash cams or cell phone cams, live streaming, cameras, police body cams, stuff like that, or parking lot cameras, those black and white ones that, watch over parking lots and stuff. So all that kind of stuff is the camera footage that's compiled for this film. So it's definitely a found footage movie, but to edit all of those different camera angles together simultaneously, there's even certain scenes where we have one camera angle here and another camera angle here, and then sometimes a 3-screen split one. So it's very, like I said, intricate. And the editing, I can't imagine, because like I said, I do YouTube videos and I edit just small time, basic stuff, these YouTube videos, and it's like sometimes I do get frustrated with it, even when it's trying to do some of my longer videos, like my 31 on 31 sometime. So yeah, I couldn't imagine how it must have been to edit this one, and it came out awesome. I also think this film did great in using the social media, the now time, like very much this generation's era. It used all of that to its, to its advantage, and I love that. You can see the comments from people on the live stream, like everything. You can feel how people care and like they have a heart still, but then there's also some people online that use that as a screen so that they're able to protect themselves, and they act very cold and they're very heartless when they speak to people online because, no one knows who they are on the other side, or they can't reach them on the other side of that screen. So it's really, this film has a lot to say. It's a comedy horror film, and it leans very much into that satirical comedy, which helps it tell the content and comment on what it's talking about in the community and the world, that what's going on right now. So some people might not like that. They might think the comedy takes away from the horror, or they might not like what this film's trying to say in terms of what it's commenting on in this generation now. But I think it all works well together. It's amazing, like for real, like that. Even the blood, when you see the blood in this film and like the horror and the death, it's like kind of that Italian, really bright red crayon kind of color look. So even the blood is very satirical in nature. So I like the aspect of the movie. It doesn't let you get too immersed with, this is terrifying, this is horrible, because we're following a protagonist character who technically isn't a protagonist. This is a very flawed person that we're following, Kurt Kunkel, and we follow his progression into madness. It's very much like this generation's American Psycho. That's how I would really classify this film. That fits very well. It's the now generation's American Psycho. But let's get into the mixed and negatives. And for me, I had an overall freaking amazing time with this film. But as for me, mixed and negatives, there are some gory parts of this film where you don't get to see everything that happens. And I understand that. it's going on the, cameras can't be everywhere. There aren't cameras in every angle on every part. It would be, it would kind of take you out of it being a found footage film if there was a camera there for every action sequence to catch every gory piece of whatever's happening. But there are some things that take place off screen that do bother me, but it does, like I said, really build into the aspect that this is a found footage movie. And even when you get to that third act, I'm not going to spoil anything, but when you get to that third act, you very much understand what the director and writer, creators were going for. It explains everything in terms of how the film is. But there are some parts of the movie that me, in personal taste, just a person, I was like, I wish I could have seen that, or I wanted that money shot. Now, a negative with the film, this is a negative, is that we don't have really interesting side characters. I think the side characters would probably be the weakest aspect of this movie. I do like David Arquette. David Arquette is a character in this movie. He plays Kurt Kunkel's father, and I just think he's like a side character that we could have got more out of that. I think we could have got more out of David Arquette. There's some other side characters that appear in the film as well that know Kurt Kunkel, and it's just, I wish we would have got a little bit more out of that. We get moments and stuff, but like I said, more detailed like writing and some of those side characters maybe would have spiced it up a little bit, made this a little bit stronger. But in my book, for real, this is a slam dunk, badass comedy horror film that I highly recommend checking out, especially even if you're not into horror. I think you could probably stomach this movie and watch it and still have a good time because of the nature of the way they tackle the story. And Joe Keery, just to see his performance, this is one of those movies, like for real, as his career goes on later years in life, we're gonna look back on decades later and be like, man, that kid, you remember that performance in Spree? We knew he was going to be something else special after Stranger Things. So I really had an amazing time with this film. Overall, in my book, Spree is going to get an 8.5 out of 10. Out of found footage films recently that I've watched, this is easily up there as one of the best. I have to go through of all the found footage films I've seen of horror, and this might be in the top 10 because this is an amazing, really good found footage film that I said I highly recommend you all check out. It's currently streaming on Hulu, and if you've seen it already, let me know in the comment section, what did you think of this movie? I would love to hear your thoughts, and don't forget to like and subscribe either, because you don't want to miss a thing on the channel. I'm going to be having some other reviews and some other content coming out. We got to be talking about my boy Jason Voorhees. We got some Friday the 13th news, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Have a safe and happy day, everyone. Peace out.